Hi everyone, Nats Myers here, back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why your mandate for your deal or your investment fund should be extremely narrow. Yeah, so really there are three main reasons why, a lot of people, when they come to us, they say, oh, I want to, I've been doing some syndications in real estate, and then I want to set up, an investment fund for my real estate deals, but I want to just be able to invest in everything. I want to have stocks, I want to have crypto, I want to have everything in one fund, and I want to just be able to deploy to whatever I want. So there are a few inherent problems here because, we're not just people. So for context, Raises.com, we get a lot of inquiries, and we're not just people that just set up stuff. We're people that actually assist people in compliantly getting the equity investors to close the deal, obviously through compliant bank-to-bank channels. But when it comes to that, you actually have to care about if the thing is actually possible to get funded. Because, there are a lot of people that they create funds that are impossible to get funded because there's no track record and it's ridiculous. So I'm just going to clear up a few myths. So number one is, as a generality, it typically is best to focus your mandates. Mandate just means what you're investing in. It typically is best to just focus on one mandate that is very specific. And I'm going to give you the rationale. For example, Raises.com, at the time of this recording, we focus on real estate syndicators and business buyers. And we really have to nail down the people who we target. And anybody, a doctor who is going out, and you look at surgeons. The doctors that get paid the most are usually the specialists, but the general practitioners don't get paid as much. You look at Amazon. They started with books, and then after they became really proficient at books, then they went over to, the other things such as, like the everything store. But then they had to dominate books. You look at Google, they're really good at search, etc. And so, the point is, even in everything, and even in ecology, you notice that animals have a niche. They have a specific area where they're dominant. And you notice that whenever there's competition in an environment, it's because there's one species that went to another species, to another species area. And the reason why birds migrate south, during the cold Canadian winters, I'm just in Vancouver right now, is mainly because, the competition has gone down in another area, and that's one of the many reasons why they migrate there. When you look at business, it's the same thing. People, you have these huge companies that dominate a certain part of the market. Therefore, certain companies have to specifically focus on a niche for them to survive and quote unquote spread their genetics, if you were to use, the Darwinian terms in business. But all I'm saying is, the people that survive when they're small typically focus on a niche. And this is also called the Walmart strategy, of how Walmart's, focus on several niche areas and surrounded the quote unquote enemy of the other discount retailers, and dominated the markets from there. So, and this can go on and on. There are tons of arguments for why you should focus on a specific niche, a specific area, a specific investment type, and a specific mandate. So that's number one. Number two is typically people that are setting up, larger funds and larger deals and so on. They get a bit confused, and they get a bit, because you have to set up, because some people can't actually get the investors to fund their fund because they haven't done a deal yet. And so we had several members actually that they started by getting the first, 1, 2, even up to 10 transactions done before they set up an investment fund, so that they can prove that they have the track record. So in order to do that, they had to get one specific deal done. And as they get better, it's as if the better they get, the more broad their mandate becomes. And that's the pattern that we always see. Because if you do one deal, one house, one neighborhood, whatever, and then one apartment, and then you start to spread out the mandate over time, because you can have the trust that leads to more credibility and you can, you have the capital and everything. And which leads to the third point, is really the compound effects and the effort that builds over time. Because if somebody focuses on something specific for a long period of time, they typically reap the best rewards. But some people, when they jump from business to business, it's kind of like a seesaw, and we explained this in another video. It's kind of like a seesaw. It's like a sawtooth graph. So it starts up and then it goes down, starts up, goes down, and it starts up, goes down. Or rather than it starting up and then continuing to go up exponential uninterrupted. It's kind of like when you use a computer and you have like one window on the computer when you're typing away, and you focus on one task and you're able to put a lot of work into it. It's best if you just have that long-term focus and continue to put work into it, rather than you switch tasks, because then you have to start from square one, because your attention span will be zipped and removed. So same thing with setting up a deal. It's like the more you focus on it, the more you're able to improve, learn about it, get proficient at it, and improve over long periods of time, and you have a snowballing effect. And so with all these things, that's just the main reason why, as a generality, we usually recommend people to focus on a specific niche and a specific mandate, rather than go super broad of their fund and saying that they'll invest in everything, in tomato farms and in crypto and in spaceship companies. Just focus on something that you're good at and you're proven at, so that nobody would have to use their imagination. And with this, I trust this makes a little bit of sense, but if it doesn't, just let us know. But if it does, just head to Razors.com and see if this is something that we can help build for you and get funding for as well. And so we'll see you in the next video.